April in Washington, D.C. is one of the best times of year to visit. That does make it one of the most popular times. In this video, we're going to tell you a couple of the options of things to do in April in Washington, D.C. and go over a little bit about the weather so you guys know what to pack.
Welcome to Free Tours by Foot. I'm Camden, and I'm here to take you around the world for the best travel tips, how-to guides, and tour highlights. To keep finding out more, subscribe to this channel, and if you want to join us on one of our walking tours, visit us at freetoursbyfoot.com.
Spring weather fully arrives in the nation's capital in April, and the temperatures slowly rise throughout the month. Early in April, the morning low temperatures tend to be in the low to mid 40s. That's about 5 to 7 Celsius. And the afternoon highs are usually in the low 60s, about 16 to 17 Celsius. As the month goes on, the morning lows warm up to the mid 50s, about 10 to 12 Celsius, and the afternoon highs are most likely to reach in the low to mid 70s, about 21-23 Celsius. Overall, the skies are sunny in April, but April showers are a thing that exist here in Washington, D.C., so there will be some rainy days. That means when you're packing for a visit to Washington in April, make sure that you have with you a rain jacket, umbrella, and maybe some rain boots. So what makes April one of the most popular times to visit? The Cherry Blossom Festival. Cherry blossoms bloom whenever they want to bloom. But because things need to be planned in advance, the Cherry Blossom Festival usually happens in April. Now, whether the cherry blossoms will be blooming during the Cherry Blossom Festival is anybody's guess. But no matter whether the blooms have come or gone, it is still going to be a great time to visit because there are so many great events as part of the Cherry Blossom Festival. We have the kites flown on the National Mall, there's the Cherry Blossom Parade, there's live music and arts and crafts all over the city. The Cherry Blossom Festival does welcome spring to Washington, D.C., but it also celebrates our friendship with Japan. So there are lots of cultural events that happen around as well. If you're interested in learning more about the Cherry Blossom Festival, you can find out all about it in our best guide, the only guide you need to the Cherry Blossom Festival, linked in the description below. And we also have a whole video about how to plan your visit around the cherry blossoms. April is baseball season, and if you follow us on social media at Free Tours by Foot, you'll know that we are big Washington Nationals fans. World Series 2019. So opening day is going to usually be at the beginning of April, sometimes the end of March, but there are going to be great home games that you guys can visit at Nats Park. If baseball is not your thing, you can also check out basketball, whether that is at the pro level or college. We also have hockey, and I have no idea, is it football season? No, it's not football season. Obviously not a football fan. The world is slowly becoming aware that Washington, D.C. has a great theater scene. Whether that is checking out a touring Broadway show at the Kennedy Center or watching one of our local community theaters, you are definitely going to enjoy your night. The dates change every year, but the White House Garden Tour is always in April. This is a chance for you to visit the famous gardens at the White House without having to request a White House visit ticket months in advance through your congressperson or embassy. The White House Gardens are only open twice a year, once in the spring and once in the fall. You can stroll through the Jacqueline Kennedy Gardens, the Rose Garden, the Kitchen Garden, and visit the South Lawn of the White House, getting an up-close view of the portico there. This is the side of the White House you get to see on our famous National Mall walking tour, but this way you get to be up close and personal. If Easter falls in April, which it usually does, there are a lot of Easter events that happen around the city. Probably the most well-known and popular is to attend Easter service at the Washington National Cathedral. Because this is so popular, you do have to have passes to attend the morning service, but there is an afternoon organ recital and an evensong in the evening. And if you're coming to Washington, D.C. with kids, in addition to a number of kid-friendly things to do in D.C. talked about on our video here, there are Easter egg hunts throughout the city, whether it's a neighborhood Easter egg hunt or the famous egg roll on the White House lawn. We have a whole post talking about how to get tickets. This is a lottery to get tickets for the White House Easter egg roll, and you can read all about it here. An event that's really unique to Washington, D.C. in April is Emancipation Day. Enslaved persons in D.C. were emancipated here before they were in the rest of the country during the American Civil War, and we celebrate that every year on April 16th. There is a parade in downtown Washington, D.C., and other local events throughout the city. We love Georgetown here in Washington, D.C. We have a whole intensive blog covering things to do in Georgetown, how to get there, and our various Georgetown guided walking tours and audio self-guided tours. And April is the Georgetown French Market. Georgetown has a reputation for being a little bit more of a high-class part of D.C., and the French Market really does celebrate that feel. There will be stalls throughout Book Hill in Georgetown with French food and crafts and boutique and fine art shopping. For other things to do in Georgetown, you can watch our video here all about visiting that part of the city. And last but not least, the best thing to do in Washington, D.C. in April is to take one of our walking tours. We have tours all year round, but in April we get to focus on those famous cherry blossoms with our Cherry Blossoms on the Basin tour, which visits MLK, FDR, and Jefferson memorials and tells you the history of the cherry blossoms. This tour runs during peak season only, so you can take in those beautiful pink and white flowers and make sure you know how to get that perfect Instagram shot on the tidal basin with the blooms. But you'll also notice that we have our evening tours to take advantage of the nicer weather. We have Ghosts and Scandals and the Moonlight Memorials walking tour. Now, for things to do at any time of year, make sure you watch our top 50 things to do in DC video coming up next. Visit our blog post, I'll link it in the description below, on all the things to do in April and more information about the weather. If you guys have any questions or comments, make sure you let us know below. Find us on social media at Free Tours by Foot. Like this video, subscribe here to join us at Free Tours by Foot for adventures around the world, and visit us at freetoursbyfoot.com.